Um, into coaching. Pretty much. When I usually just started playing games, I tried to like get better at them,
Yeah.
and then I started realizing like I can't see my own mistakes. So pretty much when like a friend of mine was like, "Yo," in he told me like in some games like it's gonna be hard because I know like they didn't have like replay systems and whatnot
Yeah.
back in the day at least.
Yeah.
He was like there are gonna be coaches like down the line. So pretty much when I grew up, I wanted to like get a coach at the time.
Uh-huh.
At that time it was like my uncles because they were like my big brothers at the time, and they basically guided me on how to like do this, that, all sorts of things. And then yeah, ever since that, I thought for certain games, I thought I should at least try to at least get one coach and see where I go from there.
Okay, sounds good. How long have you been playing?
Uh, since okay, so I played Overwatch 1, but I didn't play it for long, and then I came back to Overwatch 1 and then stopped playing, and then I came back to Overwatch 2 since the start of the season, and
Got
then
it.
I just played from there.
Okay. How have you been enjoying the whole game, honestly?
Um, it's been it's been like a up downhill. I've been there were times where I've been a bit brownie at the game because like I'm mainly a solo queuer,
Yeah.
so I don't really get much help unless I'm
Right.
like enjoying time with friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mainly duo queue with support or
Okay.
sometimes with like fives if like we're just enjoying ourselves.
Sure. Sure. Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. So looking to rank up, learn some things I haven't been taught when you were coached or when you're solo queuing. You're a support player primarily, and on the forum it said Ana Baptiste Kiriko. Is that still the case?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now why those characters? You just enjoy playing them? Is there any specific aspect you enjoy about those characters?
With that, I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, I I am I digged the immort.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Uh, I know people hated it a lot
Mm-hmm.
back then, and I'm pretty
Mm-hmm.
sure they still do if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed playing with it more, and me being able to like know how to like throw it, especially I can throw it far
Mm-hmm.
and use it to like be able to use it as an escape boat, stuff like that. And with Kiri, uh, I just like teleporting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I generally just like being a ninja, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Fair enough.
It's
I
pretty cool.
respect it. I respect it.
With
Okay.
with Ana, um, uh, I don't know. I just picked it up to be honest with Ana. The sleeps did catch my eye though.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's a fun CD to say the least. Um, okay. Let's keep going here. So I play Overwatch around 5 hours every day. On weekends, I play 6 to 7 hours. I play a lot every day. So how is that time split? How is that time spent?
So, usually on the weekdays, I'm mainly going to work, and then I once I like get off work, I usually like take like a huge break from like my setup, and then after that, I would just get on the game and then just play. Usually, usually once I get on, I'm warming up. I'm warming up, and then I'll just head right into comp, and then after that, I'll just simply head on right to comp, and then afterwards, I'm off for the day, playing, chilling with friends,
Okay.
skateboarding.
Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good. Um, let's uh, let's keep going here. So, any questions so far?
Um, no.
Okay. So for practice for you, if your
Mhm.
goals are Diamond 1, right? Where are you at now? Plat 2?
Um, I am I I'm currently at Diamond 3 for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
What have you improved at?
Um, I I don't know. That's a thing. That might be a thing that I don't know about.
Okay. Maybe it's nothing fancy. Maybe it's just some of the details that you've cleaned up here. Okay. So for how you're training right now in terms of time, breaks, goals, solo queue, duo queue, warm up, there's a lot of factors.
Mhm.
What do you think of your training schedule right now? Do you think it's good? Do you think it could be better? In what ways could it be better? Or do you think it's really good as it is?
I genuinely think it could be better
How so?
because I think I need to at least take like at least a few breaks when I take heavy losses or like major losses because usually when I solo queue I have rough games,
Okay.
even rough games to where it's streaks of losses to the point
Okay.
where I'm just like, okay, maybe the next game's just gonna be better than the last. And I'm not even like thinking back on like what I did. So it's just like, oh yeah, I'm not even like thinking back on what I did. I'm just going on ahead.
So you're just kind of playing, going through the motions kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So how are you Diamond 3? You duo queue?
Um I I did at the end of the at the like at the last day of the season, at the last day of the season.
Okay. And that was the where you got your Diamond 3. It's like you haven't placed this season yet.
Oh no, I played like a couple games this season, yeah.
Okay. Um, so the improvement from you has it been how much solo queue do you play compared to your duo queue? Let's start with that.
Mm. I played it a lot more than I told you now. I'd say the time is like, do you need time or?
Yeah. Hang on, I'm having a bit of an audio issue. Give me 1 second, really fast here.
Okay.
See if we can sort this out. Sorry for the delay. Hang on 1 second.
You're fine.
Mostly, yeah. And then I played.
Okay, I think I should be all set. Can you say something for me real fast?
Hey, hey.
Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, I guess in terms of time, solo queue to duo queue, how's it going?
Most of the time I solo queue is at least like 3 hours, 4 hours, like
Okay,
most of the days.
okay. So
And
you
then
you are solo queuing a decent amount then.
yes,
Okay, all right. And when you say the games are rough, does it mean the quality of the games, or the result of the games, or your play in the games? You get what I'm saying?
uh, the res by result you mean like how it went in the middle of
Yes.
them?
Yeah. Like the result, like your
Yeah,
win rate. Are
yeah,
you ranking
yeah,
up?
yeah. The result, yeah.
Okay, so again, I guess the question is how on earth are you ranking up if the result is so bad?
I don't know myself, but
Okay.
because usually when I solo queue, my games are like when I solo queue, um even it's even games where I go loss win. There's some days where I go on 8 loss streaks, which I had to realize like, hey, okay, I need to like stop playing on this day and then just take a break on this day and then go on the next day and play. And then now nowadays, I'm simply just solo queuing pretty much, or so when I solo queue, I'm simply just having games where I'm winning, and then I'm losing afterwards, which isn't bad. So that seems like it's progress.
I mean, that's kind of how improvement works, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, it's not always linear. I mean,
Mm,
you are only 10% of the lobby, so you can have a good day and still lose games. And
of
if
course, of
you
course.
if you play at a diamond 1 level and a diamond 3 lobby, you're likely to maintain a 55% win rate, but not 60, you know.
Mhm.
Um, Basically what you're describing here, the vibe that I'm getting here is that you are progressing slowly over time and getting better and doing so honestly without even coaching help, which is good for you. I mean, that's awesome. But the
Oh,
problem here is your perception of how this progress and process is going seems super negative.
oh,
You know what I'm saying? Like it sounds like right now, like you're really genuinely upset or frustrated or not enjoying things as much. So what I want to focus on is we'll take a look at your gameplay and we'll give you some feedback on what you need to be doing better to improve and yada yada, of course. But I want to dig deeper into why this whole freaking thing feels so sucky for you. So
yeah.
when do you genuinely really not enjoy playing? When's the last time? Don't even just think on theory. Today, yesterday, the day before, when's the last time you've just been like, man, this sucks. I'm not having fun at all?
Sunday.
What happened?
I simply just went on a crazy loss streak.
Why? How did the day go? Walk me through it if you can.
I I woke up, ate breakfast, um, uh, usually do my morning things, got on the game, watched a few videos before I warmed up, and then solo queued for a bit, and
Okay.
then deranked, went, and then I deranked, and then I had people like in game, like add me, and then usually I started to realize like when people add me and then I add them, they'll like message me like stuff like, hey, they'll message me toxic things pretty much.
Yeah.
So that's like where I was like, I had to like get off the game,
Yeah.
and which I did. So I just couldn't take it.
So the social aspect really ruined it for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So then think of another bad day recently. Can you think of another one?
Um. mm, mm. I remember. Well, can it be like? Okay, yeah, yeah. Thursday was also bad.
Okay. What happened?
Pretty much the same thing. Uh not the social experiment part, but I was just going on a win-loss, pretty much playing on a carry, and I felt like I was doing something, but it just wasn't going the way that it could, because I felt like there was something that was missing that
Yeah.
that I didn't like realize. So I felt like I should have like seen it. If I seen it, I probably would have done better.
So it wasn't so much the win loss, although that definitely didn't help, but
Mm,
it was the win feeling like I don't know exactly what I'm doing wrong and I'm confused about what I need to be doing better.
yeah.
Now after today's review, we will have an idea of what you're doing wrong, but in terms of practice, we're not really going to expect you to be playing at a high level. We're just going to be expecting you to be practicing at a high level, right?
Yeah.
So you're still going to have the same win loss win loss win loss win loss win 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 loss loss loss, right? It's gonna be slow, cautious improvement, right? Even after today.
Of course.
So the question for you is the ownership of kind of in theory knowing what you need to be doing better going to
Mm.
make you feel better, or is the fact that it's still going to be a relatively non-linear improvement loop, is that still going to frustrate you?
I I wouldn't want it to frustrate me because I know I don't get frustrated easily. Um, it just gets to a certain point to where like people in your ear, because usually when I'm in game, I tend to not mute because I want to calm. I want to calm the people.
Okay.
Like I'm like people say or people tell me, and I tell people like comms are important, and I genuinely agree as
Yeah.
well.
Yep. Yeah.
So
I agree too.
um yeah, I generally just don't want to calm people unless they mute me. Then I mean there's nothing I can do about that. Uh
Okay.
yeah.
Well, we got a problem here because we need to find a solution here because we keep talking about like win loss and being confused and loss and improvement, which are all like fairly understandable things. But it
Oh,
always comes back to the social thing,
sorry.
right?
Yeah.
Like it's always coming back to, oh, well, people are toxic or people are adding me. So we need a better strategy for how how you're dealing with this, right?
Mhm.
So what do you think?
Um
Because it's ruining things, right? Like, I mean, you like calming, you like playing the game, and you're not enjoying like playing because of this. Like, okay, so what's the strat then? You tell me.
uh I mean it would be best to mute, but like then again, yeah.
I mean, the easy solution is just don't join voice or don't join chat, but you want to calm. So,
Hmm.
what can be your strategy to fix this? To still find value out of communication, something that you enjoy doing, without ruining the experience.
Do I just not talk?
Well, that's not something that you want to do, right? You want to calm, no?
Oh, yeah,
Right? So
yeah.
how are we gonna find the balance here? This is not easy. Like I'm not. This is not like, oh duh, idiot. Why don't you figure this out? No, this is freaking hard. Like this sucks, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
this is something we need to solve though. What do you think? What's your gut instinct? What's your gut instinct? What do you feel like is the easiest solution or something that may alleviate some of this?
Um, just don't speak a lot.
Okay, but you like
Yeah,
calming, no?
yeah.
So then that's not gonna work.
Hmm.
Here's a question: do you use the mute button aggressively?
No.
Okay. Do you ignore friend requests from teammates?
Most of the time, yes.
Most of the time, you've got to learn your lesson. Make that every
Yeah.
time. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Um, you need a system. Okay, you need a
Mhm.
system. This is your system. Stop accepting friend requests from random, so that you're just going to get sucked into the void, right? Start
Yeah.
muting people, and if it's all toxic and it's not productive communication, then just leave voice. Because what's the freaking point of being in voice if that's how it's going to work?
Mhm.
There's nothing valuable about that at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I want you to play like do the things that you want to do, but I want you to, if something is not only not helping you improve, but actually making it very frustrating and taking away the fun of the game, you need to run full sprint in the opposite direction. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So that's my recommendation. That's my recommendation. Is that going to immediately make you rank up? No, but it will certainly make the process of improving a lot more fun.
Yeah.
You get it? So, okay. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I'm going to take note here. Stop accepting friend requests from toxic people. Mute/leave voice aggressively when it gets toxic, unproductive. Sound good?
Yep.
That sounds like a good game plan. Focus on yourself, your personal value.
I got a question.
Yes, go for it.
Um, if so, let's say like they you made like so okay
Take your
pretty
time.
much let's say uh you're you're a support and
Yep.
you're at like the end of a map, and then I guess like your DPS is like yelling at you because you made like some simple mistake or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and then pretty much you're arguing with the DPS. Well, I don't know, like how would you go
Why are
through
you
that?
arguing with the DPS?
Because simply because of something that you couldn't control.
Okay.
Um,
So why are you arguing with this person? What's the point of the argument?
oh,
You kind of get what I'm saying? I'm being kind of rude to you here, but do you
sorry.
see my point?
No, you're good. Yeah.
Like, there's no point. If you want to apologize, sure. If you want to ignore it, sure. Mute, move on. You're never going to see this person again. You don't have
No.
time to have a nuanced conversation about whose fault it was. And the reality of the situation is it's probably both of yours fault. And even if it is all your fault or all their fault, does that really solving that problem going to help you win the game or make the process more enjoyable?
No.
So who cares?
Mm.
Oh, my bad. Move on. If they won't let it go, mute them. Block them, then report. In fact, reporting never got easier, right? It's super easy now, right? So that's it. That's all.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
I think like I think there's a lot of people out there that like to be not politicians, but they try to be like make everybody happy, keep it. There's a good way to play. I knew people back in the day in gold. They're like, man, I was able to climb from silver to gold because I was like super PMA, and I always there's the 3 calls that I always and I appreciate those people for being kind and making the progress in the process more enjoyable. But those people, there's a reason those people never reach Grandmaster.
Well,
It just you can only get so far playing babysitter. You get what I'm saying? You can I think being polite and kind and productive is great. But that's really where you should draw the line. You don't have time to be able to associate and discuss and argue and just no, these are randoms. These are randoms. Now, if you were in part of a team, which is something that you want to do, you want to find and get an Overwatch team, right?
yeah.
Those are the people that are worth your time. Those are the people that you should be discussing with and discussing whose fault it was, what can we do better, right? Because you will be able to communicate and work with those people for a long period of time. Not ranked. Not ranked. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
Well, this is gonna probably be off topic, but
That's fine.
would you like apply that to like real life?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like this is why, see, we're not built to deal with feedback from strangers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it applies to the internet, definitely, right?
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
that people shouldn't give you feedback or advice. It's not that you should never listen to anybody criticizing you. You should. I think criticism is very important. But it needs to be from a trusted source or somebody that you're going to be interacting with frequently, because then they can have that conversation with you from a point of trust and having that conversation frequently. If a stranger went up to you and said, your hair sucks and walked away, you're going to get your feelings hurt, and it's just going to hurt. It's just going to make you upset, right? It's going to make you defensive, right? If that's so, we're not designed to have that random feedback from people that don't care about us. And unfortunately, like in the internet age, whether it's with the games or social media or whatever, is that's all that we do is we get criticisms and feedback from random people. And we also give criticisms. Like you and I are not immune from making that mistake, I'm sure, ourselves, right? So yeah, it's a good thing to always keep in mind. Focus on yourself. Ask and look for feedback from trusted sources, like what you're doing right now, right? Right? Like you know me, like you may not know me personally, but you know what I do. You know my responsibilities, and you trust me to not sit here and just make you feel terrible about yourself. Like I'm going to be fair, right? And you know that I'm qualified to give feedback on this, right? And if you're looking to improve at anything else in your life, then get feedback from qualified sources. And when people ask you for advice, give them feedback. And if it's somebody that you trust or care about, and so on, and that's pretty much it. That's how life works. And so for you, I think you're taking on undue stress because you're worried about what other people are thinking and you can't. I think one of the most important lessons that I had to learn as a content creator, and by the way, I'm not perfect at this, I'm still learning this as well, is that I'm just not going to make everybody happy all the time. I'm going to say things or do things that people are going to get upset. I've got people that think I'm an idiot when it comes to 6v6. I think people that I'm an idiot when it comes to coaching. I think people that I'm an idiot when it comes to this, and that my rework ideas suck, and that I'm too loud, or I'm not funny, I'm not that interesting, and my coaching strategy stuff and it sucks, and I talk too much. And I think that's a bit ironic that I'm saying that right now. And I sometimes I read these comics and it kind of hurts my feelings sometimes, but I'm like, dude, there are thousands of people that are now watching me. I'm a micro celebrity now. And there's just going to be a lot of people out there that don't like me. And maybe I could say that they would like me if they knew me better, but that's just not possible, right? And I
Yeah.
think that that's very hard to do, especially as a young person. You just want people to like you. You want people to know and appreciate you and respect you. And sadly, I just don't know if that's fully possible all the time
Yeah.
until they get to know you.
Mhm.
So you and I both have the similar problem. um, I'm just recommending you, at least in the ranked environment, this would be a good way to practice and kind of let that tension go, because it's tough, but it will make you feel a lot happier about what you're doing. It will take a lot of stress off of yourself, and you'll be able to enjoy the game a little bit more. Now, it's not as simple as, oh, great, thanks, I'm totally fixed now, thanks, Bio. Like now you're gonna have to kind of practice this mindset,
Yeah.
right? You're gonna have to practice this. It's easier said than done.
Mm. Okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
All right. Any questions more along that front?
No, not at the moment.
Okay. Last thing I will say as well, I really encourage you to, if you can, to find a team ASAP. There are
Oh,
Discords like Competitive Overwatch, Overwatch University. I believe there's the ELO Hell Discord as well. Let me see what Discord servers you're in right now. Oh, you're not in any of them, mate. You're missing
yeah,
out.
I don't know. Yeah.
So Competitive Overwatch is the subreddit. I believe Overwatch University. If these for whatever reason don't work, yeah, I don't think I can give you Overwatch University. You can just look it up on the Reddit. I think they have a link to that as well. And there's a couple other ones you can maybe sniff around, ask around, and find like there. But there are a lot of plat teams out there, and there are a
Mm.
lot of diamond teams out there. And they scrum, once a week, and you can try out for them, and they may like you, and they may not like you, but that's why you try out for a bunch of them. And then if two or three of them like, hey, we'll pick you up, and you're like, hey, which one did I have more fun playing with? And then you pick that one. And it might take some time. It might not be easy. But it's probably something that you could get working at like right away. So you might as
Yeah.
well, right?
Mm.
But if that's something that you really enjoy, like the whole point of Overwatch is to have fun. Do it. Don't wait.
Of course.
Just try now. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. It's not going to necessarily make you rank up because it is a different skill set, but it's fun. So who cares?
Yeah, yeah.
Just do it. Just do it, and it's a lot of fun. So, I mean, heck, half the time I play Overwatch now, like way more than half the time. That's a lie. 90% of the time I play Overwatch now is like quick play with friends. I just
I generally want to be kind of like that.
yeah. It's just fun. It's just fun. Like I don't have any really rank aspirations right now. I only have rank aspirations when I'm learning a new character. But then I only solo queue, right? So I solo queue.
Mhm.
But when I'm playing for fun, I'm playing for fun. So,
Mhm.
okay. Let's keep going here. I feel like mechanics a bit of an issue. I think for you, just having a consistent warm up routine, even if it's just a few minutes, would be
Yeah.
useful. Positioning. I mean, that depends on the character and takes practice. And then my mentality after a game, a couple of games of missing mistakes. And we talked about this. Now, we focused mostly on the social aspect, but if you feel like, there are some times where I'm getting tilted because of a loss or I'm making mistakes, like you are going to have to learn the maturity of dealing with the 50-55 Overwatch, right? Like that's just kind of how it goes. Like improvement happens really slowly. It does not happen quickly almost ever.
Yeah.
And there will be times where you hit like a brick wall and it takes you a while to finally break it out. So you just have to be patient through that and focus only on the quality of your practice in the meantime.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
Again, like the social thing, easier said than done. It's not as simple as like, oh, just don't care. Oh, just don't be mad when you lose. Okay, it's really simple.
Yeah.
But that is a skill that you can develop over time, and it's worth doing because the stupid thing about video games is that it does carry over to real life. Your mentality when it comes to it.
Gotcha.
Make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
What is the 50-55 rule?
As in you're winning at 55-45, would have been better. As in you're winning only 50% of your games, even if you're improving.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're not going to be like, oh, I'm winning up. Like I always kind of cringe when people like message me after a session and they're like, yo, they'll send me like a picture of their career profile and they're like, look, I won 8 games in a row. Thank you so much for the coaching. And I'm like, yeah, you're about to lose. Usually people get like really confident after a
Yeah.
coaching session and then that makes them play better. Sometimes, a lot of times actually people play worse because they're thinking really hard. So they slow down. But like basically like whatever happens after a session doesn't matter like long term. I want to hear back like how your mentality has shifted over like the next 4 weeks, But yeah, it's like I'm always like, hey, good for you, I guess, but like it's not gonna stick, So
Of course.
yeah, that's kind of what I mean by the 55-45 rule. I've met very few players that improve at a very rapid rate. I tend to improve at a very rapid rate, but I'm a weird situation where like I have a lot of game knowledge, and also I know how to practice, and also I'm washed. So there is some skill in there somewhere. So basically, I don't play Overwatch. I play Overwatch. My mechanics are terrible. I'm learning Juno. I'm terrible. And then I'll finally like click after like a 3 to 4 days, and then I'll improve really rapidly. Like I'll climb a rank and a half. And
that's me when like if I'm like coming back to the game, I'll generally like forget. Like there'll be times
yeah,
where I'll just be like, oh, I forgot how to play the game,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
like I'll just
Shake it off.
it'll just come back all naturally.
Yep, exactly. And so with that, that's not really learning. That's just more shaking off the rust, which happens rapidly. But for improvement, like actually progressing new skills, breaking old habits, that's much, much slower. So just be aware of that. And that's slower for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're, talented or 16-year-old prodigy. The reason everybody improves at that rate. The only thing that will slow you down or speed you up is your attitude and then how much you play, basically.
Gotcha.
Okay. Any questions before we get into gameplay review here?
No.
Okay. Let's take a look here. Shoot me a code if you'd like to, and we can get rolling.
All right. Right. Wait, how do I... Oh wait, I just realized. Okay. I never realized how to save a code until now.
Yeah, check this out. Career profile, history. Don't look at how much Drunken Science Lab I was playing. It was purely for content. You're going to click on one, career profile, history, replays on the left tab here, right here. And then you're going to click share. And then you're going to click copy once it actually finishes loading, and then you're good to go.
Gotcha.
You played any of the Drunken Science Lab?
I was going to later today.
It's pretty fun.
Some friends.
It's pretty fun. Yeah, it's fun. The hero selection sucks because it's like Orisa, Diva. I mean, Orisa's kind of fun, but like the supports, especially your cheeks, like it's like Zen, and you're like, oh, nice. Then you're like Mercy, Kiriko, Moira. What? I'm like,
is the Reaper good?
No, Reaper's horrible.
I saw the Soul Orb stuff because I wanted to try that since I never did.
He's okay. I mean, I would give him a shot, but he tends to fall off a lot later because a lot of his buffs are like you can reposition a lot, but like everything one shots. Like Reaper doesn't get a lot of like damage buffs as much. So I think, but you'll be happy to know that Kiriko is just unbelievably broken.
Oh god.
I won't spoil what she has, but there's a certain combo of cards that allows you to almost one-shot basically everything. So you'll have to kind of wait and see, but they're crazy.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna send it right now. Wait, I think. Here we go. There we go.
Got it?
Go. Yep.
Alrighty. So now why this code? What about this code makes it worth coaching?
We didn't score a point. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I played Baptiste the whole round. I felt like there was... I don't remember exactly what happened in the game, but I felt like we were stuck at a point I just wanted to know how we could have gotten to the point.
Sure. So it's a pretty ugly game then, I guess. So wait, you guys get beat up a little bit, and then you get full health. So we'll go through. Now, what is Bap good at? Hint, it's pretty much just one thing. Shooting, right? Shooting and healing. Like he's really, really good at just doing the same stuff over and over and over again. Now his CDs are pretty good at sustain, but there's limitations of what you can do with those CDs. They're pretty much just focused on keeping yourself or somebody else close by alive. So your value with Baptiste is finding windows, no pun intended, of value, damage, and healing output pressure, and then just going and going and going and going and going and going and going. Cover use is important. Managing your range, somewhere in that medium range, usually, depending on the situation, is important. Being able to be accurate with your shots and then weave your healing as necessary is important. Not wasting your lamp or your burst on situations where you're not really under any threat is important. And then finding good sight line for a window is important. BAP's a very simple support, but you need to be doing those simple things well and doing them well over and over and over again. Okay, let's take a look here. Any questions about BAP before we roll?
I think I'll probably come up with a question as we go.
Okay, let's take a look. What's the problem with your positioning right now?
I was kind of back here because of the widow, but it's not to a point where I can see someone for damage.
You got it. Now, you made a great point there. The Widowmaker definitely complicates things, but you got to solve it. You've got to solve it. You have to be doing damage here. Yeah. I mean, do you see the HP?
Yeah.
That's what we need here. That's what we need. I even like the fact that you're weaving here, because you weave whenever the heal and the damage weaving is convenient. And with where the Echo is and where the Diva is, it's very little crosshair movement to do so, right? So weaving is very important here. Same thing with the Ram stuff here.
Oh, no.
Well, I like this. I understand why you're doing this, but you got to ask yourself, how much value?
I remember this.
Okay, so I'm gonna call the police, and then they'll be at your home. No, but see, this is not just about the lamp though. This is about toss your Ana a couple of heals, as Overwatch decides to just. Well, that's taking a break here. We'll be back with you shortly. But see, the problem here is that I'm black screening. But also the problem is that you saw your Ana was under pressure, which was, understandable, help her out a little bit, but you can't leave, what on earth? You can't leave your value on left side. We need you to apply continuous pressure on left side. If you leave this angle here, your Ram might die. The Diva might live,
Yeah.
Right? So ignoring the lamp here, it's not just about the lamp, it's about the loss of pressure on main, which is your strength. Help your Ana a little bit, but look, she even ends up rotating away anyway, right? We needed your pressure, and because you lost pressure on left, look what happens. You lose vision of Widow, you get shot, you get your regenerative burst forced, you don't get damage on Widow, you don't get damage on Diva, and so then your teammates fall apart, and you've had both of your abilities forced. You see that? So it's finding the balance between assisting people as possible, but always maximizing your pressure output in the meantime. Because this sucks. Like, this is so unfortunate.
Yeah.
I like your positioning so far, and I've liked your mechanics, but rotating away from your damage opportunities to then unnecessarily lamp your team cost you guys this point. Now, before I beat you over the head with a sledgehammer again, I could go through every single person on your team, and I could point out the moment where they threw the fight.
Oh, God.
Okay?
Yeah.
The reason we're fixating on you is not because it was your fault, but because it was something that you can control. Your Ana didn't find any CD value at all, and I don't even know what she was doing positionally. Your Hanzo lost total attention and just got smoked by the Widowmaker, even though he had Sonic Arrow. Your Ram totally mismanaged his pressure and his CDs, and then ended up taking too much damage. Your Echo killed the Widow and then died somehow even though her positioning wasn't that she shouldn't have died. Right? There's something that we can go through with every single person. Again, the reason we're focusing on you is because that your actions alone would have shifted the fight there in your favor.
Do you think on that fight, if I played like on the right with Ana, when they were all lined up there, if I played on the right with Ana when Tracer went on her, do you think I would have been able to get a flank kill?
You could have, yeah, you could have. The reason why you did not do that though is because of the Widowmaker, and I think that was a good decision because it wasn't safe pressure. In the same way that you wouldn't pressure a Diva at this range, you shouldn't pressure a Widow at this range. You got me? Should you shoot Diva? Yes. Should you shoot Widow? Yes, but do it at your effective range. And you did. You got a little bit of distance between yourself and the Diva. You shot her. Good stuff. But yeah, if the Widow wasn't here, they're on a different DPS, then yeah, you could have taken the angle here and popped off. No problem. But the Widow was there, so that's it. I think you read the situation pretty well. I think you're just overly worried about your Ana. That's all. Good. More damage. It's fine. Probably would regenerative burst that just to be safe. Like 50 HP is not a lot, but I respect the discipline there. I mean, you're really greeting it. So, so let's talk about positioning here overall. I like the fact that you're weaving. I like the fact that you're doing damage. Was there a better position for you to play from here?
The behind, kind of behind the Ana.
Would you have done any damage from here?
Oh, no. Well, judging from the diva, because she probably would have went under the bridge. But I would have probably got sniped by that Widow.
It's tricky, isn't it? It's tricky, isn't it? I'm going to be honest with you here. I think maybe your best bet would have been to play... Oh, gosh. This is hard, isn't it? You get what I'm saying? So this is my point. This is my point here. If this is kind of where you're looking at things and been like, the only way for me to live this would have been to significantly compromise my pressure, then fine. That's why you have Immortality Field. Right? It's fine. It's fine. You forced an ultimate. You did a ton of damage.
I probably could have killed that Widow if I knew she was
I think you could have. Yeah, absolutely. You burst here, you jump up, you knock her teeth in, right? You're fine. You're fine. So this is one of those situations where you needed to use your ability and or rotate out a little bit faster, but I don't have a problem with this. They used 2 ults. You had none. Where should you rotate now? You know where Widow is. Where should you go?
The right or left?
Why? What about here?
Not left, actually.
Yeah, it's not your effective range. You need to get right. You need to get here. You need to get here. You need to get here ASAP. Or you need to get here, or somewhere where at least you can contest a Widow a little bit closer, right?
I was kind of scared because the Juno probably would have speed ring and for the diva and like,
could be
dove on me.
That's could be.
What I was more scared of.
What about this? If you're gonna sit and heal bot on point and just pressure on point, where should you be?
At least top left of the Hanzo.
Probably top left of the Hanzo, or even if you want to be here, just leaning a little towards this way, towards cover, or even leaning back towards here as quickly as you possibly can. So if I understand right now, there's no need for cover, but as quickly as you possibly can, move towards cover. This is good. Your other support is having a bad day. Where should you be?
Top left.
Sure.
Kind of
Little awkward with the Widow sight lane. Fix it. Where do you go?
Oh yeah, the right.
Here. Yeah. Make the Widow walk into you, right? Like at least walk a little bit closer. But I mean, there's going to be risk. We can't avoid the risk entirely. Just make the value worth the risk. See, even here, you're using the information that you have, or you think you have about Widowmaker to be more greedy on main. I respect it. Use it.
I was kind of scared.
Oh, I guess you need to. Yeah, good stuff. You know what's a good sign? Me moving at 2 times speed, because you know what that means? You're fine. Now if I do this, you're screwed. So I don't, just pray that I don't do that, you know? See, it's funny, like, again, I don't have a problem with what you're doing here. Because your Hanzo's, kind of got smoked a little bit. But this is where you just needed to manage your range a little bit better. What should you do with your window right here?
I genuinely wasn't thinking of it because because Moira our Echo ulted and I genuinely thought she was gonna get ult, so I didn't think of using it.
Can I be honest? Just use it. Just use it. Bap window is so flexible. Even if it's just for zoning value, if you plop it here and they pop double bubble, speed ring, and disengage, that's fine. Your team will capitalize off of that, and so will you. Just go. You're down 1. We need to win this fight. Let's go. That lamp was unnecessary. So this is now the second time that the lamp has been a bad read of the person's HP. I think you get under a little bit of pressure and you panic. But you're full. Your RAM is full. This sucks. Right?
Yeah, I do.
Glad to see that we're actually using our window. 2 times speed. What do you think of where you got right here?
I uh I mean I felt like I could have played in the right room.
I think this is pretty
Maybe.
good, right? I mean, are you doing damage, and are you doing damage safely? Yes. So okay,
Yeah.
there you go. Like that's all there is to it, right? Like it ain't that deep. So the only thing I would say here is maybe a bit more weaving. So like with where your ram is, this is where you need to be doing a little bit of the weave, and then obviously disengaging this way. Keep damage, heal, right?
Yeah.
Just because how close that target is. It's a little bit too much damage there. Now, he is blocking, which is very nice of him. That makes things easier for you. Yeah. Good weapon play. Good weapon play. A little bit of the jump spamming. I don't love the jump spamming for you. Maybe keep an eye on that one.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and what happens is sometimes is that you get a little too locked in on the damage, even though the target isn't 1 HP. You see this? And so then you're like, oh crap, I have to weave. And then, okay, crap, I have to heal. And then, oh crap, I have to use my regenerative burst. And oh crap, I got too close. So if you're going to push here, where did you need to rotate to? No floating.
The top left.
Or?
Oh wait. Oh. Oh. I mean, when I went to the right.
Yeah, just here.
Yeah.
Just here. More cover, that's all. It's really not that complicated. We just needed a little bit more cover. That's all. And not to be pressing forward. You see how you're pressing W? Keep an eye on that. So maintain your range, maintain your sight line, and just play Overwatch.
A
That's
random
it.
question.
Mm-hmm.
When you play, do you play with like 3 fingers or like 4,
On my mouse?
like on your keyboard?
Oh, on my keyboard? So what I do is I do WASD, nothing crazy there, right? I have my thumb resting on my spacebar and my pinky resting on the shift. Pretty standard, okay?
Because I tend to avoid pressing W in necessary terms unless like needed, but most of the time I'm always like pressing W, as you can see.
It's called the platinum magnet, where in your intensive focus on hitting your shots, you press W. It's very normal.
Okay.
It's very normal. Like, I mean, literally, grandmaster players do it. It's very, 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 very common, and it's also very, 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 very bad.
Okay.
You need to kind of. It's the same thing when like people get nervous, they start to spam jump. When people get nervous, they press W. Keep an eye on it.
Gotcha.
Keep an eye on it. Whenever you're locking in mechanically, don't press W. Hold the corner and rotate.
Okay.
Okay. Let's keep going. Any questions so far?
Not at the moment.
So managing your range a bit, sometimes getting a little bit too close, getting a little bit distracted instead of just doing damage, right? And then a little slow with using our window. I don't think there's anything fundamentally wrong with what you're doing with this character. I like the weaving, I like the damage, I like the healing. And then even like with your positioning here, I don't hate the positioning. I just want you to be a little bit tighter to cover. You get what I'm saying? Whether that's here or whether that's here. It's up to you. That way you're not going to get your burst forced by a Cole that you could have just used on cover, or you could have just used on cover here. And you're like, oh, but the Widow was there. Okay, well then, fine. Rotate away from the Widow, right? Make your decision. Good shots. That's when focusing on damage instead of weaving's okay. Why?
Because she was just out in the open.
Yeah, there's a chance of a kill here, right? So whenever there's a chance of a kill or somebody else getting killed that you need to focus on healing, then don't weave.
Okay.
Good stuff. Telling you, your weapon play with Baptiste is like pretty decent. It's pretty good. It's definitely, I think, your strong point here. I would say your positioning is so far hasn't been too atrocious, but it's been mostly a little bit of a lack of cover. That's been the problem. But your weapon play has been like relatively decent. You've looked very comfortable in this character.
I have too many hours on him.
Well, I can see the Diamond 3. Let's put it that way. I can see why you made the improvement. This is just dumb. Peeking header at this range, it's dumb.
Oh,
the rotation needed to be here. What's the rotation from this position with Widowmaker on the field? What'd you do?
Just move back. Like
Move
walk
back. And then drop. You got it. Press the button. Press the button.
Yeah, our tank did call it here.
Press the button. Your tank shouldn't call it. You press the button. You press the button. Don't wait so long. Use it.
Mm.
And I will go as far to say here that the window is also placed poorly. Because look at the widow.
How would you have
Great
placed
question. You tell me.
it? I mean, I tried to make it to where like we could see all of them, and we could use all. Oh,
You don't need to see all of them. Your whole team doesn't need to use window at all. You need to set up an angle. You need to set up a sightline and apply pressure without peeking Widowmaker. Where do you do that?
the. Oh wait, the right room.
Pop your window here. Happy birthday. And then if they want to peek window, that's fine. But then they can't hide from here, and they can't hide from here. There's nowhere for them to hide. They get crossfired and they die. And you do so without having to peek in for sight widow. Got me?
Mm-hmm.
This is just too dangerous and not enough value. That's all. Pop the window. That way you can shoot Epic Fart 69 effectively. And also do it sooner.
Okay.
Play your effective range. That's a good rule, not just for Widowmakers, but also for Reapers and Tracers and Genjis. If there's a Reaper and Tracer and Genji, and you pop your window here, I would be flaming you. Because it's too close. You should have popped it here. But popping in here versus a Widow or a Hanzo or whatever else is also stupid. Play your effective range, right? Exactly what you did in first point, where you're like, oh, Widow's over there, so I'm going to rotate left, find my damage sightline, but play a little bit of distance on the D.Va. You did a great job on that. Play your effective range.
Is it possible if you like type that out so I like keep a mental note?
Type out what the feedback?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're gonna type it out. Don't worry.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. This position is really smart. It's a little bit in the open, but you got a bit of an angle here. You have a bit of a cover, and you're LOSing Widow, right? I like this position for me. This is good. The only thing here is you just need to be more decisive with rotating away. So I see Bob here. Get your cheeks in gear and move, right? You've got exposed. But that's okay. That's an ultimate, right? They use an ultimate. So just press your regenerative burst when you need to and rotate back to here or back to here and go from there. The problem is that you kind of got panicky and you lamp the Bob. So I'm sure that Bob appreciates the lamp. But you know, maybe not the best strategical decision here. Let's keep going here. So far, I want you to see you playing your effective range versus Widowmakers. You do, and also playing your effective range versus the enemy tank. Because let's not forget, thanks to our friend the Plat Magnet, you got too close to front line sometimes for no real value. Yeah. I want to see discipline with your cover usage. I want to see you press Q with less hesitation. And I think a couple of the lamps have been pretty crappy, not really reading the situation of the HP. But that one's a harder one to practice. Do you have any questions so far?
How with the lamps? Dang. How can I don't know how to question this.
I know what you're asking. You're asking how do I get better at lamps?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. The most consistent way of improving at lamp is to expect the problem before it happens. So we're going to walk out here, and you're going to walk forward. We're not going to focus on your positioning or CD usage or anything right now. Tell me what lamp is going to be used for here before it happens.
I was genuinely thinking that he was going to be low or die or mainly
Seems fine. Okay, now look at the situation. Look at the comp. Look at the situation. Let's say you still had lamp here. What are you going to use lamp for?
Genji diving myself or something.
Okay. Great. That's it. Expect it before it happens. All right? That's all. Oh, they have this ultimate? Expect it before it happens. Oh, they're going to do this? Expect it before it happens. Oh, I'm going to go super flanky style, and I'm going to get dove by that Genji? Okay, good. Expect it before it happens. Easier said than done, right? But that's the way that you start to improve at lamp, is look at the situation, be like, what do I want to use lamp for? And then go find value out of that lamp. Now, one of the nice things about BAP is if you're like, well, I don't think there's really anything I can see that immediately needs lamp. Okay, then go flank. Go make value out of your lamp right now. There's no ults. Go make value out of your lamp. It's a sustain cooldown, right? Okay, let's take a look. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So literally, if you're having a hard time using lamp, just find a way, basically.
Your entire focus this entire game would be looking at the situation, the enemy comp, and the ults, and thinking, what should I use lamp for? And then fixating on getting the biggest lamp, the perfect lamp every time. I'm going to track my Hog's vape so that when he walks in here and gets pinned, I know he has full vape, so I don't care. And I'm not going to waste my lamp. Okay, I see the Genji. He's just used deflect and dash, so I can walk forward. Wait, he has blade now, so I should see if I can basically play my lamp around blade. Right, basically, you don't worry about your positioning, you don't worry about your mechanics, you only focus on making these super sick life-saving lamps as necessary, or getting value out of the cooldown. Make sense?
Yeah.
And it's a lot of attention, and you don't worry about winning the game, you just worry about drilling that one specific skill.
Okay.
Because as you can kind of see, it's a lot of thinking, right? It's a lot of thinking, right? But it's worth putting thought into. Any other questions? That was a really, really good question.
No, not at the moment.
Okay. I like this position here. Avoid the Widow. Find damage. Find weaving. Find a little angle on that Genji. Love to see it. You see the plat magnet? Watch it. Right here. You see it? Wham. I like the discipline with the regenerative burst. Now, I'm going to be honest with you here. I like what you're doing in terms of your weapon play. You are not a flank character generally. But if you ever get in a situation like this where you're getting stuck in the choke, you have nothing to lose by taking a flank. As long as you manage your CDs, expect the Reinhardt to pin, just run away, whatever, you probably would be better suited here pushing out on an angle. Now, if I could choose my battles here, if I could choose one member of the team to beat over the head with a sledgehammer, I would be choosing your Kiriko right now. I don't know what the frick she's expecting to happen from this position. I don't even know what she's doing. She's literally a total waste of oxygen and a waste of space. I'm ashamed of her, okay? But that doesn't mean that you can't also then, okay, my support's sitting here, fine, I'll go take the angle of the soldier even though I don't have a teleport. You're going to have to be very careful of the Genji, but I mean, imagine a BAP here. Come on.
Of course.
Imagine a BAP here. This is like that you just win this 2v1. Like right now, you just win. And there it is, right? Genji just killed the soldier. Frick, Like that should have gone the other way. And then this is where like the random CDs and the panic kind of kicks in, right?
Yeah.
Good damage, good healing. This position's okay. Be very careful about jumping in front of the Widowmaker. Where should you position instead?
Oh god.
Where should you position
The
instead?
left side.
The left side, or if you're gonna play here, fine. Just don't peek the Widow. Drop here, or basically expect the Reiner Genji to contest you. The problem is as you run, you jump. That's the problem. You get what I'm saying? And that's what ends up killing you, right? So be even though you have jumps, be disciplined and tight with your rotations and movement. Does that sound familiar?
Yes.
That's exactly what was happening on your defense. It's not that this position is bad. It's not that dropping down here is bad. It's not that sitting here and shooting the Genji from an off angle is bad. Those were all fine choices. It's the way that it's done in terms of your cover usage and your jumping that's killing you. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm going to see a window here as soon as... Okay, well, never mind. As soon as your Hanzo and Soldier get back here, I'm going to see a window on main. They're going to kite it out. I don't care. Get Epic Fart out of the choke. I do not want to lose a game to Epic Fart 69. Use it right now. Press it. Do it. Press it. Press it. Do it. Right now. Do it. Because if you window here, where are they going to go?
they would literally back up
Back
at
up to
most.
here, getting to here. That gives more DPS space, more space for sightlines, less space for them. Or they'll press Q in response. But guess what? They don't want to walk through the choke. They might force it, but it's really bad for them, right? Press the Q. Press it. Press it. Press it.
It
It's
did
too,
not.
and now it's too late, right? Now it's too
Yeah.
late. Now you got to deal with Epic Fart 69 yourself. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's too close. Too close. Too close. At least they bladed. Okay, now this time I know we'll press it. Okay, well, now our Widow's dead, so we can wait. Honestly, if I see my soldier, though, I might still press Q. Like, look at where he is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I think you still press Q here. I think you still press Q. Okay, now we don't press Q. What is your Kiriko doing? Like, she just clonked the fox into the wall. It's gone. It's
I didn't
gone.
even realize that.
It's gone. She messed it up, and then you're dead again. It's again the discipline, though, right? You see this? Like, there's nothing particularly wrong with your positioning. And it's just a damage boosted. Wait, did she get double damage boosted?
She get dealt. Yep.
Wait
That's
a second.
Crazy.
She got double damage boosted, mate. Double
Does that
damage
actually
boosted.
work?
Yeah, it does. It is. I think it's 35% and then 30%, I think. Something like that. So it's 65%. What is it? Is it 85? Or 80? So it's like 55 damage plus a clip. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. That's like 140, 150 damage. So, I mean, she had to shoot a clip into you as well, but it wasn't the only the torpedo, but yeah. Okay. Yeah, and that's it. You just didn't press Q.
Yep.
You didn't press Q. Your rotations and pressure were fine, but very sloppy in both your jump usage and your cover usage, which caused you a lot of grief with the actual execution of how things were going. You tend to panic a little bit with your lamp because you don't really have an idea of like what you're going to be using it for planned out, whether it's an ultimate or a duel or whatever else. And then when you get stuffed into a choke, you tend to just focus on dealing with the choke instead of creating a space on your own. Now, the last point I think is probably the least important because it's something that you're probably not going to be doing a lot with BAP.
Yeah.
Ana? Yes. Kiriko? Absolutely. BAP? Not as much. I'm focusing more on the front line trade because of your lack of mobility and because of your powerful weapon play is very good. But when confronted with the problem, you can still be the solution even if you are a bit slower.
Okay.
Let's take some notes. Baptiste, give me a macro, big picture strategic thing that needs to be improved from you.
The lamp issue.
The lamp issue. The lamp. Thinking ahead of time what lamp will be needed for. Ways to get value out of it. Okay? Preparation. Okay? Give me a micro thing to work on. A detail.
When I'm shooting, like, to play, like, still play around cover.
Be disciplined with cover.
Yep.
And jumping. Okay?
Yeah.
When positioning, manage your range versus close range duelists, tanks, and widowmakers. Right? On the opposite ends of the extreme, but the same principle of like, okay, I have playing here, I'm going to rotate away from the tank and out of the sightlines into the widowmaker, or I'm going to peek the widowmaker, but I'm going to peek her from a flank at 25 meters, not 50 meters, right? Where I can actually beat her in the duel, right?
Yes.
And then press Q when fight starts, or if fight is winnable or losable. If you're up one, press Q. If you're down one, press Q. If the fight's even, press Q. If the fight is started, press Q. If the fight is still going, press Q. If the fight's almost over but still competitive, press Q.
If it's 2 versus 1, would you still press Q?
Give me the situation.
Like, okay, you have you're on defense,
Yep.
I guess. Three of you are alive.
Mm-hmm.
And the enemy is basically 5. Would you still press Q?
Maybe if they're low. Maybe if they don't have any cooldowns. Maybe if my Winston has primal too, so we can actually kind of extend this fight out. Maybe if my positioning is really good. It's situational, right? I mean, obviously, if you all 3 have cooldowns and they all 5 have nothing, then actually you guys might be able to win that quite easily. right? Just something to consider. So there's always exceptions to the rule, and there's lots of little details to consider, but I don't think we're really at the point where that's a huge problem with you to worry about. For you right now, you just need to press Q and then learn the exceptions to the rule as you get more practice.
Okay.
Any questions?
No, that was awesome.
All right. Well, I'm going to have this sent to you. If